that they were transported by night to Minnesota. And they were working for months and months, and they were not allowed to get pay. And also, they were in control 24 hours a day.
Labor trafficking affects the most vulnerable populations: immigrant communities, refugees, and people living in isolation without family or community networks to help them. Catholic Charities strives to honor the dignity of every person so that they become survivors instead of victims.
Our mission is about advocacy and social justice as well as service. And we're really trying to find gaps in the community where people are not being well served, where people are on the fringes, and this population of people meets that goal for us in many ways. And this opportunity to move into direct programming really created an opportunity for us to do something specific and make a definite decision to serve this population.
In a recent case, Catholic Charities provided support to a group of roofers who had been trafficked and forced to work with little or no food to eat. Catholic Charities supported the victims with legal help and social services.
They were practically living in the basement. They had no ventilation. They had no beds. They had no winter blankets. And they were forced to work more than 10 or 12 hours every day. And to add this other thing, that if they will go and talk to someone, the contractor will call the police or deport them. And that's why they were, submitted to live for months under these conditions. When we went to the hotel, they were very disoriented. They were afraid that they will be sent back to their country. And my role was to explain them that the immigration department had intervened to give them freedom and the opportunity to settle in the Twin Cities, and that Catholic Charities will provide with all the services.
Catholic Charities partners with law enforcement to help labor trafficked individuals through the investigation process. Additionally, as part of two statewide task forces, Catholic Charities takes an all hands on deck approach to solving the systematic problem of labor trafficking.
Our program is part of two human trafficking task force. One is Minnesota Human Trafficking Task Force, which is a larger task force that reaches out to greater Minnesota. And then we have the OVC, Office of Victim of Crime, Department of Justice, OVC, have awarded a grant for us to work with enhanced model with a local law enforcement, which has another task force called Gerald D. Vick Task Force.
Well, a good trend for us in the recent years has been that there's been a lot of support in service organizations and nonprofits. A lot of policy decisions have been made locally here in the state of Minnesota to help the human trafficking fight.
And we also have this larger group of individuals within this community who are eager to help. However, being part of Catholic Charities, I am very fortunate to have this program under Catholic Charities because I am able to utilize some of the existing Catholic Charities services, which has been wonderful.
So what we do here in St. Paul Police Department in our human trafficking unit is we educate other law enforcement agencies and officers on what human trafficking is. We gather the law enforcement and prosecutors' offices to meet on a regular basis to talk about cases that are happening, trends that are happening, things that we may want to try differently to get more cases against traffickers. And then we also work with Catholic Charities and other service organizations in identifying victims, providing services, getting them safety, and speaking in different groups, whether it's a faith-based organization, a high school group, universities, garnering interest in human trafficking and educating them on what they can do to help in this fight.
I think one of the things we need to do is continue to be advocates. We need to work with our government systems, with the legislature, to be sure that we're supporting the right kind of rules and laws that we have to govern both the victims and the perpetrators of these victims. We also can donate. We can give, simple things sometimes. People that we work with don't have shampoo. They don't have basic hygiene items. It's not the big gifts. It's often small ones as well. But also being aware of what you can do to care about people, to be part of a system of support rather than of degradation for others.